Why YouTubers High and Back with 60 books in isolation, and it is. I picked this up when I was in Prague. It was one of them in the cupboards. I left a few books, I took a few books. So, A Treasury of Royal Scandals, a shocking true story of history's weirdest, wickedest, most wanton kings, queens, czars, popes, and emperors. The national bestseller by Michael Farquhar. Is that pronounced? Farquhar? Okay, so here we are. From Nero's nagging mother, who also became his lover, to Catherine's stable of stars, here's a witty, delightful look at the most scandalous doings you never learned about in a history class. Gleeful, naughty, sometimes perverted, like so many crowned heads themselves, a treasury of royal scandals presents the best or worst of royal misbehaviour through the ages, from ancient Rome to Edwardian England, from the lavish rooms of Versailles to the darkest corners of the Bastille, to great royal houses of Europe have excelled at savage pirating, deadly rivalry, pathological lust, and meeting death with the utmost indignity or just very bad luck. Right, so this is people have underlined this book as well at the back with the popes, which I thought was quite interesting. But I think I want to talk about the pope part of it. This wasn't telling me nothing that I didn't already know, really. Now, this bit here, okay, this is part one. Right, it's kind of really has a tone. Catherine the Great loved horses. She also loved sex. Contrary to popular legend, however, she never managed to unite the two passions. Still, the autocratic Empress of Russia brought all of the euphemism of a vigorous ride to an incredibly busy bedroom. After ridding herself of her imbecile husband, Peter III, in 1762, Catherine grabbed the Russian crown and came to dominate the kingdom for the next 34 years. Boldly indulging herself as she grew more secure in her position, the Empress consumed handsome young lovers with an appetite that sometimes shocked her contemporaries. "She's no woman," exclaimed one, "she's a siren." Set the tone, baby, set the tone. So, set the tone. So, but as I said before, this is, yes, it talks about, okay, the Russians, it talks about the House of, well, the Windsor, you know, Henry VIII, because it's got to be about Henry VIII, okay? Um, Austrian Empress Maria Theresa, there you go, who had miserable marriages. But the thing is, a real biting thing, and someone's underlined this is one I picked up, it wasn't me, I don't write in books, it's the popes. Yeah, here you go. Someone just doesn't like popes. Here you go, it's here. Not so dear Johns. Chapter 1, the popes. Perhaps the worst John of all was John the 12th, who came to the throne in 955 at the ripe old age of 18. He had been called the Christian Caligula, and apt moniker for his papal bad boy. At the urging of his dying father, Albert II, absolute ruler of Rome, John immediately adopted a lifestyle that shocked even the jaded Romans who used to all manner of vice. A teenager with unlimited power, he turned his residence at the Lantern Palace into a brothel. He gambled with pilgrims' offerings, and bestowed rich gifts, including golden chalices from St. Peter's, and a succession of lovers. Oh my god, I did not know this information. I want a film. I want a TV series based on the bad popes. Based on, yeah, here we go. This is the thing, okay? Let's just bit, okay? A jealous husband ultimately spared Emperor Otto from having to make another yet trip to Rome to restore order. Finding the Pope in bed with his wife, his enraged husband beat John so severely that he died 3 days later. Other sources say the young Pope died of a stroke while having sex. Okay. As I said before, this needs to be a TV show. Bad Popes of History. I'd love it. Okay? I'd absolutely love it. Now, this bit, I knew it's been this book, okay? I knew it's been this book. This is about Pope Joan. Now, Pope Joan is a story I've heard many times before, okay? Here we go. Now, the myth of Pope Joan. For centuries, many popes believed that in the 9th century, the female pontiff known as Pope Joan had occupied the throne of St. Peter disguised as a man. Secret was revealed, the story went, only when she gave birth to a son on the way to Mass one day and died on the spot. After that, the subsequent popes were said to go out the way doing papal possessions to avoid the blasphemous sight. It is listed that the legend of satire of Pope John, which was finally proved in the 17th century by French Calvinist by Dave Blondel, almost certainly evolved from the true story of two women, a mother and daughter from the powerful Theo, a famous Theo Clarlate family. Thank you. Last time I'll be pronouncing that. They virtually ruled the papacy during the period in the 10th century currently known as the Reign of Harlots. During her affair with Pope Sergius III, Marzone and her daughter gave birth to the Pope's bastard son, it's in the book, who later became Pope John the Ninth. Sorry, it's not ninth, sorry, X1. Pope John the 11th. Magaza's mother Theodora, meanwhile, was sleeping with the Bishop of Beluga. Damn. That's the story of Pope Joan. Respect. Here you go. This chapter 8, okay, called Will the Real Pope Please Rise Up? Okay. And this is about Pope Boniface the 8th, okay, who basically had too much power, so King Philip the 4th, there you go, from Roman numerals, was now master. There you go. With French Pope Clement V with his virtual puppet, he commenced what came to be known as the Babylonian captivity. The papacy was moved from its ancient seat in Rome, the burial place of St. Peter, the first pope, to the fortified city of Avignon in France. For nearly a century, a succession of popes ruled from the luxurious papal palace of the Rhone River, which came complete with its own state-of-the-art torture chamber. The great scholar Plutarch described the court there as a shame of the world. Maybe he was upset that Pope Benedict XII was reportedly sleeping with his sister. After all, Avignon was no worse than Rome. Okay, I didn't know this. Okay, I'm not Catholic, but I don't mean to get your Pope Urban. I know something. I think our next Pope should be called Urban. I want another Pope Urban. There's been a few, you know. Yeah, we need a Pope Urban. Right. Alright, this bit here, okay? This is called Double Double, Toil and Trouble, or You've A. Shakespeare. This bit here. The rebirth of cultural learning that was sweeping Europe in the 15th century was not entirely lost to the papacy. It's that so many popes found it difficult to completely let go of the Dark Ages. Sixtus the Fourth, for example, commissioned the Magnificent Sistine Chapel, around the time he gave his blessing to the Spanish Inquisition and anointed the murderous Torquemada to run it. His nephew, Julius II, patronised Michelangelo and Raphael when he wasn't dressed in full armour and slaughtering his enemies. Here you go. But Innocent VIII seemed poised to modernise the papacy when he became the first pontiff to openly acknowledge his illegitimate children. Before he became a longer, papal bastards were always enthusiastically referred to as nephews. Any promised Innocent may have shown as a modern son of the Renaissance, however, was quickly extinguished when he gave his seal of approval to maybe what the most instructive book in history. His papal bull, entitled Summis Directus Affectibus, I can't speak Latin, gave new life to the persecution of witches and served as a preface to The Witch's Hammer, a handbook of witchcraft, how to find witches. Okay, now I really didn't know that. Okay, so in Roman time, in times of the popes, okay, if someone's referred to as a nephew of the Pope, that means that that illegitimate child, nephew of the Pope, it's an illegitimate child. Okay, if I read any books, okay, about popes from now on, I'm going to be looking at that a little bit more closely. I'm going to go away to read books about popes, okay? I think our new pope's kind of cool. Well, no, he's been there for a couple of years now. So, I like this book. I thought it was quite fun in some ways, but I just want to talk about the popes because the stuff about the royals, I already knew that, okay? It's common knowledge, but the stuff about the popes is not. Did you know that? The Pope's illegitimate children are referred to as nephew or niece? I didn't know that. So, the Treasury of Royal Scandals, okay, which was seriously underlined. And I'm signing off here, everyone. Take care. And bye now.